Okay, let's kick this video off by looking at my sidebar. Now over here on the left you can see that I'm currently a member of two different teams. At the top there's Productivityist, which consists of various members of the Productivityist team, run by Mike Vardy. I was invited to join this group as I work with Mike, which is why it appears here. Then below we have the Slack Made Easy course, for which I am currently the primary owner. This appeared when I created the team. Now I'm going to show you the various settings that are available for a team owner, so to do this I'm going to need to do it within the Slack Made Easy team. I'm not a team owner or an administrator for the Productivityist one, so I can't show you those. But as far as Slack Made Easy goes, I can show you exactly how an administrator can run their team. So if I click on the drop down arrow here and go to Team Settings, you can see we've got 4 different tabs here that we're going to go through the settings for. Let's start with the Settings tab. So let's start with Team Sign Up mode. If we just expand so we can see the options that we've got, you can see that we can either choose to make our sign up process invitation only, which is the default, or we can allow anyone with a certain email address format to sign up. So how's this relevant? Well, let's say you're in charge of slackmadeeasy.com and you've got 100 or so employees in your company that you'd like to use Slack. We can make the sign up process invitation only, and that would involve somebody sending out 100 individual invitations out, which is kind of time consuming. By selecting the box that says any email address from these domains, you can enter slackmadeeasy.com as a suffix in the text box and then send one link out in one email to all 100 of those users. Let's just close that back down. Move on to default channels. Now here we can choose the channels that new members will automatically be added to, as well as the general channel. Everyone becomes a member of the general channel, but you can choose other channels that you wish them to automatically become members of. Just click anywhere here and then choose one from the drop down list. So we could choose here feature requests. Anything in blue you will see actually appears already in our box up here. Let's close that one back off and close this down. Username guidelines. Now you can set the default guidelines if you wish, which basically is a message as people are choosing the username that says use your first name, last name, nickname or some combination of those initials. You can see the default message that comes up here. However, you can set up your own custom one which is more suited to how your particular company works. So you can see here at the Slack Made Easy domain, we've put a custom message of, while we will be able to see your actual name as administrators, choose a very non-safe for work nickname for your username for Slack Made Easy. We can click save there and close it down. Name display. You can choose to display either team members' real first and last names or their usernames. So we have display usernames as our particular setting, but you can change it via this drop down to display first and last names. Let's close that down. Okay, moving down to require @ for mentions. Now we discussed mentions in a later video where we talk about messages. However, to quickly explain, a mention in a chat message is similar to someone typing your username in Twitter or directly linking to your account name in a Facebook post. Here you can specify whether there has to be an @ prior to the name that they type in a message to alert you of the mention, or if somebody can just casually type your name. So as an example, my username in the Slack Made Easy domain is Lee. So I could set this particular setting here so I would only be notified when somebody types my name in a particular chat window if there's an @ preceding my name. If I untick it, anytime the word Lee is typed, then I can have a notification that's sent through to me to say, hey, someone's talking about you, someone needs your attention. Let's click close there. Okay, let's move down to email display. We can choose whether or not to display our team members' email addresses in their Slack profiles. Now I've actually turned this off for our team. It's not so much an ongoing security reason, moreover, I don't want email addresses to be present in these videos, and as I refer to the profiles quite a lot, there's an awful lot of blurring out that I would need to do to protect all of your privacy. So as there are a lot of videos in this course, I've been lazy and I've just turned the setting off. I'm sure you can forgive me for this. Let's click close and move down to do not disturb. I loved this setting when it first came out. Do not disturb will prevent notifications coming through to you between certain hours of the day, which are configurable within your own user profile. However, you can set a more generic team setting for this if you wish. You can override this if you yourself want to have a more restrictive or liberal setting. Let's close this up. Hiding our team's URL from external site logs. Now, you'll have links to sites published in channels from your colleagues. That's one of the main reasons that people use Slack to share content and their research. This setting will prevent your unique team URL from appearing on the target site's records. Just close that down. Move on to calls. You can choose how your team makes calls in Slack. You can use Slack itself or a third-party calling app. Now you can see that we've enabled the Google Hangouts integration here, which is covered in a later video. So we could use Google plus Hangouts as our default call application. I believe there are Skype integrations as well that you can add in. However, we will cover voice calls within Slack in a later video, and it's certainly improving every single update that Slack come out with. Let's click close. Move on to message retention. How long do we want Slack to be able to save our messages? Well, because we're on a free tier, we can't have a custom message retention policy. We'd need to be on one of the paid tiers, either the standard or the plus, to be able to change that. However, Slack retains your messages for the lifetime of your team, even when you're on a free plan. File retention, very, very similar to what we've just said with message retention. Slack will save files for the lifetime of the team. If you do decide that you want to be able to have them for a little bit less, you're going to need to upgrade your plan in order to be able to set a custom file retention policy. We can update our team icon, should we so wish here, and we can also change the team name and the public URL that is able to access our team. If we're a team owner, as I am with Slack Made Easy, I can do the ultimate delete team button here. Not something that I'm really looking at the moment, because I want you guys to be able to use it. Now we've actually reached the time limit that I wanted to set for each video, because we're trying to do short, sharp videos wherever possible. So I'm going to cover permissions and the remaining tabs in some upcoming content. We'll see you there.